Sir, my first question would be to you. What you see or what significant you see in Tianjin Shanghai summit, and what the message Shanghai is sending to the rest of the world?
Thank you very much. I think one has to understand that the world is changing in very fundamental ways, and the values and the principles on which world politics were played have shifted, and these have changed. And keeping that in mind, particularly with the tariffs and the Trump administration's unique, very unique and personalized way of leading the administrative system and his foreign policies. I can't comment so much on his domestic politics, but I am talking about the foreign policy. I think it's time for what we call the global south. But when I use the word term global south, I use it with a pinch of salt, because the global south, the countries are not all homogeneous, and it's a very differentiated south that we are talking about, and the countries are placed at different levels with different systems of governance. But still, using it as a unifying category, I think they are sending a very strong message that the hegemony or the control of world politics is no longer with the West. And they also rightly pointed out the hypocrisy of the West and the double standards of the West in terms of human rights, human values. Those are there, and also like you cannot continue controlling global politics. So I think these are very important messages.
Right. Why President Trump took the initiative, now he is considering to quit from this negotiation. Our White House correspondent Norman Floyd Barnes commented on this, and he has informed us.
Thank you very much for that question. I think it was partly answered by our professor from Utah, when he said that they stand on both Ukraine and Russia, they stand on very different grounds. That is one thing, and that is something one knew right from the beginning. And also if you talk about President Trump's influence in mediating conflicts, I mean, look at the Indo-Pakistan conflict which happened, and the response of India. I mean, Jaishankar has come out, the Indian Foreign Minister, very openly know that it was not something which had happened due to the US pressure, though the State it was so claimed by President Trump. And I think it's also look at the Israel thing, what is happening in Gaza, all that things. So I think it's a question also of crisis of credibility. I would put it like that you know how effective the US is in bringing about or mediating peace in situations like this, where very core fundamentals issues are involved. That is at one level, but on the other hand, if you scale up arms sales,
right,
I don't think that that is a solution or resolution towards to the conflict, but rather it beefs up the conflict.
Right,
it heightens the conflict level, scale up the conflict level. So again, I would say that okay, it is one thing to quit from it, but it is another thing.
He's going to open a new window.
And then your I mean, I will end here by saying that your policy objectives can come under very critical questions.
How do you see Donald Trump's recent moves and getting blocks, getting threats from the rival countries. How do you see it? Do you enjoy it?
It's not a matter of enjoying it. I find it, like very, to put it this way, I find it very concerning. I find it concerning because, the kind of policies that he's concerning on the one hand, but at the same time, I also see optimism because let me explain the concerning part, because then you realize that an individual can do and undo many things,
Right.
and this is like what we saw, what is we call populism. In populist politics this happens, and this I mean, one can move towards an authoritarian.
Sir, Donald Trump's recent administration, I mean Donald Trump 2.0, and the things are happening around the world.
Yes, thank you. I said I was, I think we were talking about, like how populist leaders
Yes, sir.
can, can bring about cracks or fractures in the institutions. That also tells you about the electoral system, maybe, like what the previous American administration has done, how it has impacted. I mean, otherwise, how could, Donald Trump come to power? I mean, one has to look at it very critically. And when I say that, also optimism, because it brings back your faith in the institutions, that if you have institutions which are built on solid grounds, and if still, like individuals are there, and the civil society or the people matter. I mean, the case that Pantho pointed out about the Harvard University. So, like how institutions can fight back, and there are still judiciary, institutions. So, it talks about the independence of judiciary and also independence of different institutions and the people's power that still exists. So, I mean, it's in a way it is concerning because Trump, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, let me put it this way, reminds me of many things which I would not want the world to see again, but again it also the way the people are fighting back, and also the power of the media and the social media in particular, and the way people unify and rally against decisions or things that are unjust. That is something I think.
Right, sir.